What is up, Goat World? It's me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you with another Goat format video. Hey, sorry about the clickbait on that last video. I had to do it. You gotta try some stuff. You gotta make a change. Sometimes you gotta try different things, and I just want to try that out. You know, if you hated it, sorry. If you liked it, I'll keep it going. Let me know in the comments of this video. But anyway, one of my goals is to get better at Goat format, become a more competitive player, and to do that, the best way to get better is to jump into the review room and start checking out some film. So I have some film today. We're going to start a series called Game of the Week, and this is the Game of the Week. The film that we have today is going to be featuring your Goat format #1 ranked player. In the red corner, we have Ivan Rossitto, your Clash of Champions winner this year. He's also won some Patreons. He's won the Obelisk. He's a very talented and prolific Yu-Gi-Oh player of Goat format specifically, and other formats as well. But Goat format is what we're dealing with here. And he just refuses to come onto the channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to cover some of his stuff. In the blue corner, we have Spyral 67. Spyral 67, he has been around for a while. He's a little on the younger side, but he's still a very talented player as well. He was in the running for the MVP last season of the Goat format, of the first season of the Goat format War League. So he is definitely a dope player as well. This match is going to be from the 5th round of the FLC, which is currently ongoing. So unfortunately, I will not be able to provide the deck list for either of these players because this contest is still underway. But with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into this video. And what I would like for you guys to do, if you're watching this video, if you're trying to become a more competitive player, maybe take notes and see if you observe some of the things that they're doing, and then if you are a competitive player already, maybe you can identify if there are any misplays or things you would have done different. Go ahead and throw that down in the comment section. While you're down there, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Get onto the team because Goat format is coming back. Make sure you turn the reminders on or the notification bells as well. So we're going to jump right into it. We have Ivan in the red corner versus Spyral 67 in the blue corner. Game of the week, FLC round 5. Let's get it. So Spyral, I know, plays a lot of warriors. Ivan obviously is going to be playing Chaos Turbo. He gets the rock, so he's going to be going first. Obviously, in Goat format, you always want to go first. You always want to go first. You always want to go first, no matter what deck you're playing. If you get the opportunity to go first, just go first and take it. So Ivan down here in the red corner is going to get the Koichi Heavy Storm, Knight Assailant, Breaker, and Nobleman. In the blue corner, we got the Wing Blaster Tribe, Heavy Storm, Faith, and T-Dragon. So I'm looking at Ivan's hand. Obviously, going to get the draw in there. You always draw first in Goat format. I'm thinking the play is going to go ahead and set the Koichi, throw it over to the opponent. Let's see if Ivan is getting down with me. And there it is. So boom, he didn't get any cute. Ivan, I think he plays probably the most clean game that you're going to find. He doesn't do a lot of cute stuff. He tries to keep it. He tries to keep it as put together as possible, and that's how he's so consistent and successful, I believe. You know, because he doesn't do too much spice. He doesn't do too much tomfoolery. He just keeps it busy and makes the most efficient play for that time. So Spyral's going to draw, always shuffling hand, grabs that Upstart Goblin. Go ahead and play the Stump Dragon for the Upstart Goblin. Very common stuff. Probably gonna go ahead and slam this Thunder Dragon, or excuse me, probably gonna slam this Upstart, and you're probably gonna throw down the Faith. Why not? Faith and Wing Blast, since you got some good discard fodder. I think that's what Spyral should do. Let's see if he, oh, actually, he got even better discard fodder. So the Serpent is in the hand. He going to sets the Wing Blast, sets the Faith, and that's cool. He's gonna throw it back over to Ivan. He's gonna immediately play this Wing Blast. Just to set Ivan back a turn, and also to not allow that flip to activate. So it looks like we have a Turbo Mirror with Wing Blast. I think Ivan is going to be on the Regeki Break variety. So he's going to go ahead and discard that Serpent, free you know, discard, and he's going to play the Nobleman Cross out. Go ahead and send all the face out. Ivan already has one in hand, so you don't have to reveal decks on the online game. So be aware of that. He goes and draws and sets. He goes and sets the Spy this time and throws it over. So he draws, going and slams down the Tribe. Tribe's going to crash into the Spy. Okay, Spy is going to get the other Spy from the deck, and then that's pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and discard the Serpent main phase 2, clearing both of those Spies. So that's a pretty good exchange, because when you got these Spies and they're just set up, they become very oppressive no matter what the matchup is. They really do damage against the Warriors, but they also do damage in this Turbo Mirror match. So getting them in the graveyard early and often, something Spyral is glad that it worked out the way that it did. So good for him, bad for Ivan in this situation. So I think in this spot, obviously, Ivan did go first, and being down a card on the draw, going first, you know, that means he's kind of catching up and kind of taking some of that advantage, since Server putting in some quality minutes for the blue corner. So Ivan really didn't have a lot of options, didn't have a lot of defense going on right now. So the only thing he really can do, he could probably run this Breaker out and clear that, but you kind of want to probably get some more value out of that effect. So he's probably just going to keep just setting into this thing and just seeing what happens. Maybe Knight Assailant goes down here, maybe even Dekoichi or Breaker. Let's see what Ivan does with it. So he does. He elects to go ahead and set one up in front of the tribe and just try to get another card, fill the grave, and keep it moving. Spyral go ahead and just crashes into it. So that's I don't like the way. That's when Dekoichi is at his weakest, I think. Maybe you guys would disagree with me on that, but I think when Dekoichi is just getting kind of just blasted, you get a card sent to the graveyard. I mean, you're getting 1 for 1, but it's like, is he really doing anything? I don't know. That's when I don't like him. That's when he's at his weakest. When he's at his strongest, when he's flipping and attacking and doing all that crazy stuff, getting souped and all that. But it is what it is. Spyral going to slam down the ring and passes it over. Again, still has no light in the graveyard. So maybe I was thinking, hey, get that light set up. My opponent didn't knock my last guy. Maybe he won't knock this guy. Got that Sork online. I think that's a fair play. And you got one spell to grab, so maybe he wouldn't think Faith, but of course your opponent is going to go ahead and draw that nobleman every single time. That's how it goes down. Faith is going to get banished. Both Faiths are gone from each player, and then we're going to smash in for another 16. I was going to take that, and now get something going, get some motion in the ocean with this Pot of Greed. Is going to come down. Pot of Greed, first Heavy Storm to kind of clear the potential Solemn Judgment, because he really wants this Pot of Greed to go through to kind of get some motion in the ocean in his hand, get something happening. So Pot of Greed goes off, and he still doesn't really get anything happening with that. He's got another Dekoichi. He's got this Snatch Steal. I think at some point I would. This is where I lose it. This is where I can't. As me as at my skill level or whatever the type of player I am. I think I'm too aggressive of a player. And when I'm in a situation like this is where I start to fall apart, because I see this tribe and it's just killing all my stuff. I want to do something about it. I'm not going to sit here and just let you assault me like this. I think before this, I probably already did the breaker move right now. Got the breaker out, attacked this freaking tribe, and just whatever happened after that. But let's see how Ivan deals with it. He doesn't. That's the difference. It's being patient, being reserved, maintaining your stuff, and just doing like that. So he continues to set into this tribe and just gonna keep it rocking. He's gonna play the upstart, grabs the Book of Moon. And then he's going to just this tribe is just still on the field. The tribe is still just slaying bodies. And he draws into the Black Luster Soldier. Still does not have a secure light monster in the graveyard. Still hungry to get that graveyard set up. So now finally he's like, okay, enough is enough of this freaking tribe. Go ahead and clears it with the breaker, maintaining that counter and having some defense on it, because breaker with the counter is a high snatchable item. So I bet he's really upset he didn't set that Book of Moon last turn. He probably could have had that down. Heavy Storm was already played, I believe. I might be yeah, Heavy Storm was already played, and he could have put that down and kind of stopped that from happening. So maybe you can't read the future though. You never know. So he goes and sets into the breaker, sets an obvious bluff. You know, whenever someone sets something into breaker with a counter, they want you to break it. So be cognizant of that. But he ends up phasing it, MSTing it, just to get it out of the way, because he's pretty confident it was a chainable card. And then it's going to just crash into the Sinister Serpent. So Sinister Serpent is going to kind of just keep milling itself. This is where this card is just so damn good. Oh my goodness, Sinister Serpent is so busted when you just continuously just get it over and over again and kind of shield attacks. So he comes in, he standby phase, grabs that Serpent back, hits him with the old slide and shuffle, and makes that Serpent kind of look like the Gravekeeper's Spy. He's going to crash into the Spy, take 100 damage, and then another Spy is going to come from the deck. So now Ives going to have to deal with the blue corner Spy. But fortunately, he has this Tribe Infected Virus, but that's kind of ugly with the Tribe and the Breaker. So he's going to have to wait for his Breaker to die or get removed, and then maybe Tribe and get some going that way. I don't know. Let's see how Ivan breaks it down. So main phase 2. Whoa, wait, hold up. I can't back up, so maybe that was a misclick or something. No, whatever. So he he go ahead and sets the tribe. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know about that one. That's beyond. See, this is what puts people. I can't get jiggy with that. But I wouldn't make a move like that. But also, I am not nearly as good as what he's got going on. So he sets the tribe main phase 2. That is just very, very interesting. Looking at the graveyard, I don't know if Spyral has an idea of what the contents of Ivan's deck may be, but he sees these 2 Dekoichis in here. He sees these 2 Spies in here. So in my head, I would think, hey, this is definitely a Sangan, or this is definitely like a Sinister Serpent, perhaps. This card cannot be another flip because they just, what is it going to be? You know, maybe Tsukiyomi, something like that. I think that's what he's probably reading this as, but never in a million years would he guess that that will be a freaking tribe infecting virus set up like that. So he go ahead and flips the spy to attack, and he's going to go ahead and mirror force that. So that's interesting how that all kind of shook down. And he's going to set another one and pass it over. So now Ivan gets the card destruction, flips the boy, this tribe infected virus with the big surprise, declares, gets back the Dekoichi, killing his own breaker with counter. That's very rare. You don't see that too often either. And then it was the Sinister Serpent again. So now we have, he got the Dekoichi back, set it up, throws it back over to the opponent, Sinister Serpent back from the graveyard. And then now he's got the breaker on his own side. Let's see if he tries to get greedy with it. He does indeed. So he goes pro breaker swing, and that's going to meet the Ring of Destruction. So that's a full 1900 value out of the Ring of Destruction off a breaker. And then he's going to go ahead and set up the Torrential Tribute and throw it back over to Ivan. Ivan then is going to flip the Dekoichi, getting a card in the process. But that's going to go ahead and trigger the Torrential Tribute. So now he still has a summon. Still no light monster. Still no light monster to be had. Yeah, still nothing. Let's see, we have light and dark access for the opposition over here. So that probably is the reason why Ivan elected to go ahead and set this Sangan here instead of just normal summoning and trying to get that 1000 damage. Everyone knows when that Sangan is out, that 1000 is the freest 1000 you're ever going to get because no one rarely does anything about that Sangan attack. But he's afraid that maybe the opponent might bring out a chaos and just banish it, and then that's a plus, and then that's stuff you have to waste resources answering later on. Maybe that's what he was thinking. I'm not sure, but he go ahead and sets it up, and then let's see what Spyral does about this situation. He go ahead and plays the Heavy Storm. Okay, he had the MST and elected to Heavy Storm instead. That's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he had a different idea. And going to sets the Sinister Serpent again, sets the Mystical Space Typhoon, throws it over to the opponent. Or maybe because he just wanted to get that MST down. I don't know. Very interesting. So the Solemn Judgment goes down. Immediately it's going to be in phase, blasted. And then the Pot of Greed is played. Getting 2 cards, Mirror Force and Dekoichi. Didn't get a shuffle in there. I always want to shuffle your stuff. I think that might be good. Dekoichi is going to be set. Mirror Force did not get set. That's very interesting. Why put it down? I suppose, you know, it's not, you want to get attacked, so it doesn't matter. Then he gets the Sangan in the hand. He's going to flip Dekoichi on the blue corner. Dekoichi is going to yield 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Dekoichi is going to then crash into the Sangan, getting that effect. Ivan's thinking about it. Go ahead and grab another Night Assailant. Still no light monster to be found for the red corner. So Ivan's got all these very chaos rich hand. He got this Black Luster Soldier. If you really want it, you can finesse that to the graveyard somehow, and then maybe make something happen that way with the Chaos Sort. But there it is. So being patient, making it have 15 cards left in the deck. You get the Thunder Dragon for 2. Add it to the hand here. 1, 2, and now you got free reign to make your chaos plays if that's what you want to do. So now you have a whole bushel of chaos monsters, and they all are very, very live to be played because the Go format, you can just discard Thunder Dragons anytime you want. So you're going 1 light, 1 dark, and you're going to bring out the Sword first, banishing the Sangan, banishing the Thunder Dragon. He's going to go ahead and elect to banish the Dekoichi. Okay, so Dekoichi's out of there, and we're going to set the Night Assailant, throw it over to the opponent. Spyral is going to tribute the Sinister Serpent for the Thunder Dragon. Okay, getting some attack up, and then he's going to attack into the set Night Assailant, which will then go ahead and pop the Thunder Dragon, not popping the set. I believe since it didn't flip or he didn't do anything cool with it, he probably had a good read that it's either like I said, the same thing like a Tsukiyomi, or perhaps what it was, the Sangan or something like that. So no need to stress out too much. But then the opponent, then Spyral go ahead and brings out the Sork of his own, banishing that Sork, and then you're gonna run into the Dust Shoot. Late game Dust Shoots are just amazing. If you can get one off late game, they just get even more powerful. Either at the very beginning of the game or a very late game, when those things can just happen, they can change the game. So that was a very dope Dust Shoot for the blue corner. I bet he was really feeling that, sending that BLS back, having the backup Book of Moon for your Chaos Sorcerer. So Ivan is in a slight spot, but not feeling too bad. Going and sets up the TT, TT is going to be great when he goes to flip summon any of these monsters. Let's see if Spyral elects to play around that, or if he's going to have no choice but to play right into it. He has no choice, so he's going to play into it. Let's see if Ivan plays it. I was thinking about it down, looking at the banish, looking at all those situations, and lets it ride. So he elects not to play the torrential tribute. Continue to let it ride, but when the Sangan flip, that's when he go ahead and just plays it. Gets the Dekoichi from the deck and then go ahead and sets it up. So boom. So Ivan has the late game does shoot. Go ahead and sets that down, throws it over to the opponent, electing not to bring out this Chaos Sorcerer, which maybe could have been good, maybe not. You don't want to just rush it. He's got a lot of live cards still left to be played, and the decks are getting extremely small, so every card is going to be great. But he did not play the Delinquent Duo, flips the Dekoichi. Dekoichi is going to grab the Graceful Charity. Okay, so then he's going to hit him with the Dust Shoot, just revealing the Graceful Charity, revealing the Sinister Serpent, then seeing the Thunder Dragon. Graceful Charity is going to grab the Black Luster Soldier, Snatch Steel, Solemn Judgment, discarding, and now he's got it. So he's going to go for it. He's got a, let's see what he got kind of set up down here. He's got the Mirror Force, he's got the Duo, he's got a Bluff down there. Let's see if we're going to swing through the Bluff. He does not care. He will swing through the Bluff, blasting for 3,000, blasting for 14, and hits the Duo main phase 2 just for some psychological warfare. You know, that's the only reason you do that. That's the only reason. There's no point. You can play that Duo at the beginning. It wouldn't have changed a damn thing. But just getting that extra psychological damage on your opponent is always something. So Ivan's down a little bit. He's got this Sork, which is the last hope. He's got the card destruction, which is kind of dead at this point. Sork's going to limp out into defense position. Let's see if he lets that go through, or will that be negated? He lets it go through, actually. Okay. Did not elect to use the Solemn Judgment on that because he does have this Snatch Steel, which is primed and ready to go ahead and retrieve this Chaos Sorcerer. We're going to Solemn that instead, and then that's going to be game. So Ivan goes down to Spyral game 1. I think the deck went a little cold at the beginning, not getting those Thunder Dragons as early and often as you would like, but still, that's the way the game goes sometimes. Spyral, I think, played that very, very well as well. Set Tribe was very interesting. That was a very un-Ivan-like play, but at the same time, I think in these Turbo mirrors, from what I understand, again, I don't play Turbo a lot. I'm actually learning a lot by watching these films. In the film room, maybe we can call this in the film room. I'm learning a lot myself by, you know, watching these films and checking them out and seeing what's going on. So I think maybe in these Turbo mirrors, you just got to start trying to get into your opponent's mind, infiltrate their mind as well as you can. Start doing weird wazoo off the wall stuff, setting Tribe, for instance. Maybe there's no way the opponent knew what that was. Delinquent in main phase 2, there's no way that didn't affect your opponent's psychology, etc., etc. But Ivan is a champion level player all around, so I'm sure he's seen it all, done it all. No big deal. So he's going to go ahead and go first and go ahead and Thunder Dragon up. He's got the Mind Control, Solemn Judgment, electing not to set that, which is pretty dope. Chaos Sorcerer, Sinister Serpent, sets the TT, throws it over to the blue corner. Blue corner is going to get the Nobleman of Cross out. And he's probably just going to, he sets the Serpent, okay? So he sets the Serpent game 2 because, again, in the Turbo Mirror, you know the biggest card to come in is one that both of these duelists have in their hand right now. These mind controls come in again, the Turbo Mirror, and getting your Dekoichi mind control could be the difference in the game. In Go format, one card sometimes is all it takes, and the first person that breaks loses. So he did not want to run the risk of getting mind control. Ivan is not a slouch, you know, he's not some geek off the street. He knew that might have been the bluff and just didn't take it. You know, a lot of people would just burn their mind control and neg out right there and just kind of maybe throw their whole thing. So he goes draw phase, standby main, holding the Dust Shoot, not dust shooting here. Okay, interesting. Did not dust shoot, no sense of shotgun. I guess it's like, might as well just wait on it to get a little juicier. Sacrifice the Thunder Dragon, still elected not to dust shoot, and then it's gonna crash in for the 16. And so no TT, no dust shoot. Very interesting. Main phase 2 Heavy Storm would have just, I wouldn't do anything. He would still just play dust shoot. That would be pretty funny too. I don't know. So he go ahead and draws. I think setting the Grave Reaper Spy is the obvious play you got to make. Even if he does mind control it, he gets a spy, and then so what? You set this. Unfortunately for Ivan, I'm sure he doesn't know. He has a Nobleman and the mind control, so he's got both of the options covered. He going to sets the Sinister Serpent anyway. I think the protocol or the order of merit or the way you're gonna do it. If you have nobleman and you have mind control, you just nobleman first. I think that's what he's gonna do. So now he's gonna elect to pull that dust shoot right when the blue corner is getting a little comfortable. Sends to send his serpent back, so now that wing blast is a little bit worse. Still, he got Thunder Dragon. Go ahead, nobleman to send his serpent, smacks in for 16. But now Ivan knows that he has the mind control, so that's a tough spot to be in as well. So knowing that he has the mind control, he elects to set the spy anyway, maybe to try to bluff the bluff of the bluff of, maybe, I don't know, he's trying to say, hey, I'm setting this. I know you have mind control. I dare you to mind control it. And let's see if Spyral doesn't take the bait. So he got bluffed. The fake of the fake, the faking of the fake worked out that time, because he could have got that mind control off and got a value plus out of the spy from his own deck, but that's how it is sometimes. So that Great Creek Spy looked a lot like Sangan. He didn't want to risk it. No big deal. So Ivan then rips the mind control, hitting the Sangan anyway. So they're just playing these duels are playing some mind games with each other on what to set, what not to set, what's mind controllable. They kind of know what's going on. But Ivan go ahead and brings out the Chaos Sorcerer, and then he's going to banish the Sangan so he doesn't get any value plus out of the search, and he's just going to crash those spies, kind of simplify a little bit. So he does know that he has his mind control still, so mind control is played, and he's going to allow it to go through. Does he, or does he Book of Moon this card here? Let's see if that happens. It does not. So Sork has been banished. The Sork is gone. Then we're going to go ahead and get the Nobleman Cross out, play it on the Dekoichi, or excuse me, play it on the Tsukiyomi. So Spyral is bluffing. He is just he's bluffed several times. He's bluffed 3 times already, and they all have paid off, I suppose. This Dekoichi he's trying to get his Dekoichi to go through, but now he's got the spy in attack mode. The spy is attacking. Let's see if he just runs a train on attack. Okay, so that happens. We call that I think TK calls that the metal fish or something like that, iron fish. It's the train fish or something like that. Comes out and he just tries to clear the spy, because spy is a menace. But behold, the Book of Moon has been played. The spy has been karate flipped into defense position, and another spy has multiplied from the deck. So that sucks. If you're Spyral, you don't want to see that. That hurts. You think you have it and you don't. So he's going to set his own Dekoichi, and then Spyral draws into the Chaos Swords again, a quick shuffle, and he's going to see what he's going to do. Let's see. We're going to continue the train assault. We're going to wing blast, actually picking that back row. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Quite peculiar. What was the purpose of that wing blast? And I don't know what that was all about. But he wing blast sends another spell trap. Maybe he read that this was a Dekoichi, and he'd rather you just draw the same card you already had instead of getting something fresh. I think that's what he was doing. Maybe that's cool. That's cool if you did that, man. That's the next level. So he go ahead and hits into Dekoichi, getting the same card that he had back. Very cool. It's kind of making it like, I guess that's a 1-for-1. I don't know math. Somebody give me the card economy on that. How much plus or minus? Who won or lost on that exchange of wing blast? Submit below. So he's gonna go ahead and play the Snatch Steal and just go ahead and mini monster attack. And this is where Turbo gets their value at, man. Getting these little dudes out there just swinging. I think that is, these 1200s and thousands, 1400s. That crap adds up super fast. He's already at 3K, and when you start ripping these Solemn Judgments, it just gets even worse, man. So these little dudes can just do the damage sometimes, and they got to play this Delinquent Duo perhaps, and that's just even more damage coming off your health. But that's free. You got 1,000 from the Snatch, so let's see if he plays it. He does elect to play the Delinquent Duo, getting the Thunder Dragon and Trifecta Virus from the hand, Snatch Steal on his own dude to crash that dude to kind of just stop the bleeding a little bit, and then the Solemn Judgment is down. So now Spyral's going to go ahead and grab another 1,000 from the Upstart Goblin, and he's going to go ahead and smack in for 14, trying to do 400 at a time, see if he can just end the game that way. Electing not to set his Regeki Break, because why? You don't have any reason to. You have no thing to discard, so there's no point of setting it. We're going to bring down a Breaker here, and then we're going to splash. The big torrential tribute is going to happen, clearing the Dekoichi, clearing the Breaker. Chaos is now live, so this Sork that's been dead is now awakened from his slumber, and we're going to do it like that. He didn't elect to bring that out and try to swing on it or anything like that. Ivan gets the Pot of Greed, 19 cards in, grabbing the Sork, grabbing the Dust Shoot. Dust Shoot is dead right now at this point, probably won't be alive again for quite some time. Setting the Regeki Break, throwing it over to the opponent. Now he's got some good discard fodder in his dead Regeki, break. Let's see if he elects to pop this set monster, or will he allow it to survive. He's going to do that. We're going to pop the Gravekeeper Spy, throw it over back over to Ivan. Upstart Goblin is played. Upstart to upstart. That sucks. I hate when that happens. It's so frustrating. Like, shuffle, DB shuffler, do your thing, dude. Upstart for upstart, but then you go upstart Graceful Charity, and it gets a lot better. Okay, so we get the Graceful Charity. Graceful Charity is gonna agree with Spy. Dude, just stop. Shuffle your deck, Spyral. Oh man, so he goes upstart, Spy. That is just trash. Hate to see it. Absolutely do not like to see it. So I think the discard here is probably gonna be the Spy and perhaps the Jar of Greed. Keeping that Sorkin Spy, I think, might be for the best. And there we go. So that's what he ends up doing. Sets the Spy, throws it over. Ivan go ahead and brings out the Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Thinking about it for a second, you're gonna go ahead and pop the Wing Blast. Okay, he like not to use it because he want to keep that Sork, obviously, and he's gonna pop the Spy, but he ended up Solemn Judgment in the Regeki break, so that is unfortunate. But Solemn to Solemn, oh man, so there was a Solemn War. Solemn to Solemn hits the Regeki break, or excuse me, hits the Gravekeeper Spy, and we're gonna go ahead and smack in for 1600. So Spiral's at 200 life points. 200 life points. But he's got this sort, draws us to the deadest dust shoot you're ever going to get. So he's going to one light, one dart, bring out the Chaos Sorcerer. So Chaos Sorcerer landed. He's got to be feeling good. Ivan has no cards on field, no card in play, no cards to just 200 life points away. What can he draw? Any card. Let's see. It is the Nobleman of Crossout. Oh, so the champion is rattled. The champion is on the ropes. What can you do? What can you do? If you lose this, it's over. So he sets Nobleman of Crossout as a bluff. Oh man, Spiral's got to be feeling it. He's got to be intense. He just swings in and it connects. Oh my goodness, so Spiral's at 400 life points. 400. Oh no, what's going to happen? What can Ivan do? Heart of the cards. He sets the Magician of Faith, which is dope. The Heart of the cards is going to guide. It is the bleed. Oh my goodness. What? The Black Luster Soldier has been drawn and Ivan gets the W. I mean, like I said, I've always said this. Granted, there wasn't that many cards left in the deck, so it was a couple outs, couple of options left. But I would always would rather be lucky than good, I say. And sometimes you got to be good. Ivan is very talented, obviously, but sometimes you got to be lucky too. Getting that top deck BLS to kind of clinch the game out like that. One more turn. It could have been any other card and it was BLS. Love to see it. I love to see it. Very cool game. A very intense match. I like the intense back and forth. Very good. That's why this is the game of the week. Hopefully you guys are learning something. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. So Ivan is going to be going second. Spyral's going to be going first. Tsukiyomi, Dust Shoot, Wing Blast, Night Assailant, Thunder Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer. Okay. He's going to go ahead and Thunder Dragon up, obviously. And if I'm noticing Spiral's tendencies here, he's got to set the Tsukiyomi and the Wing Blast and the Dust Shoot. I think that's what's going to happen. He's a bluffer. No, he goes right in instead of this time. He sets the real card and sees what happens. He's going to run it right into the Dust Shoot. Dust Shoot is going to secure the Thunder Dragon, send that back to the deck. We got the Magician of Fate, Chaos Sorcerer, Trap Dust Shoot, Solemn Judgment, Pot of Greed. Okay, so we're going to play that Pot of Greed, obviously. That's going to yield none other than, oh, of course, Graceful and Thunder Dragon. This is, I love it. I mean, that's crazy. Thunder Dragon up. You're going to grab 2 from the deck, even though you just put 1 back. And then we're going to play that Graceful Charity. And we're going to send, and then we're going to Minecon right away. Okay, so not falling for the bluff. So Spyral would have stuck to the original game plan and set this Tsukiyomi here. He would have got a good bluff payment again, but alas, he did not. Night Assailant has been flipped. Okay. And we're going to go and set the Magician of Faith. And we're going to throw it back over to the opponent. So he gets his Night Assailant back. Really not a plus, but really not a neg either, because that effect could have popped your thing and you got this whole Tsukiyomi loop situation. That's always a disaster when that's going off. So he go and sends back the Tsukiyomi to prevent that from happening, which got to stink for Spyral. And he going and sacks it up for the Thunder Dragon. And he's going to bop over this Magician of Faith, grabbing back some good old Trinity. Some good trend is coming back. Probably that Pot of Greed is going to be recycled back to the hand of the red corner. Red corner is going to draw standby Jar of Greed, which is interesting. Interesting in the standby phase. Probably trying to find another, maybe a Serpent or something for a good discard. Maybe another Night Assailant, perhaps, because he feels this Wing Blast might be imminent. That needs to be played for whatever reason. It's going to Pot of Greed up. Pot of Greed is going to grab Night Assailant. Grab, I believe it's Chaos Sorcerer as well. Draws. It's going to crash in, hitting this Dekoichi. Dekoichi is going to draw into another Gravekeeper Spy. So then he gets another Night Assailant. So Ivan's hand's not looking too great. I mean, even though he's got some good cards that he played with a Pot of Greed, Thunder Dragon, Graceful, all that stuff, the hand's still looking like kind of mid. Like, you can't really make it happen, but he does have this Regeki break here. You can probably pop the set and get this going, get back a Magician of Faith, and keep trying to keep digging through. That could be the play at some point. But he's going to set the Torrential Tribute, set the Gravekeeper Spy, throws it over to the opponent. Interesting, very interesting. All right, so he thinks about it, flips the Spy. Flip Spy is going to grab Spy. Does he show some patience here and play the Torrential later, or does he play it right now? I probably pull the trigger right now because I'm just scared sometimes. But he holds it. I think he holds it. Does he hold it? No, he plays it. Okay, so I think I would have played there too, just to kind of, just to get it out of the way. Maybe get, I don't know, but maybe if he waits a little bit, he could probably get this thing off. Or if he had like a Noman or something, I don't know. So no point of waiting. Just go ahead and get it off. So he's looking at his hand now. Go ahead and Regeki breaks the Dekoichi, grabs back the Magician of Fate with that Night Assailant effect, sets the ring, sets the Spy. You know, that Spy did a little bit of sleight of hand there, trying to make that Spy look like a Magician of Faith or whatever that he just got back. Draws into the Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is going to grab the Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm is going to be played. Okay, and then he's going to chain to the Heavy Storm to. I don't know if that was a part of the chain. I think that had to have been a part of the chain. So he lets that go, no response, and then he go ahead and plays the Wing Blast, discarding the Night Assailant to send this. Ivan there says, "Hey, that's gonna be too much." So I'm gonna go ahead and negate that with Solemn Judgment, send the rest of the stuff, grab back the Gravekeeper Spy, bring out the Spy, and just attack. Interesting. So maybe thinking that was Night Assailant, but it was actually the Gravekeeper Spy. So takes damage, gets Spy, bring out another Spy, and then we're going to keep it going like that. So you're going to set up the Magician of Faith, feeling pretty confident that all of your cards used to destroy set monsters or do interact with set monsters are now gone. So let's go ahead and bring out the thing, sets the Wing Blast, plays the Wing Blast, because he realized that should be the Faith at this point, sends the Faith back to the top of the deck, and sets the Dekoichi, throws it over. So now he knows, hey, I'm going to go ahead and try to crash this thing, gets the Dekoichi in the graveyard, draws one for Dekoichi, draws a Snatch Steal, and we're going to do here 1 light, 1 dark, bring out the Sork, summon the Breaker at 19, Snatch Steal, and I think that's it. Man, I'm not a mathematician, but that looks like a whole lot of damage, and that's a lot of spellcasters, man. That's a crazy amount of spellcasters on the field. And I think that's just going to be a gigantic push for a heaping amount of damage. That's going to be GG's. So Ivan manages to go ahead and secure victory on that game. He had a pretty good draw game 3. Game 1 and game 2, he didn't draw too great, but I thought they both played that game extremely well, especially Spyral. Spyral's a really good player as well. A lot of stuff that they were doing I might have missed. Maybe I would say 25 to 30% of that, just playing like really, when I play really hand to mouth. You know, I play like, hey, like, what's next, and these guys are really thinking forward about what's going on. They're thinking about the cards they have, they're thinking about what the opponent may be doing. So that's some stuff I want to try to incorporate in my game, and you should too. So if you like this, if you like Game of the Week, I can do these pretty, you know, periodically or whatnot. I think a lot of people might be able to gain something from these as well. So if you're into this kind of stuff, make sure you let me know in the comment section, or what you would have done differently, point out some of the misplays, maybe and we can see what happens. But again, both of these players are still playing in the FLC. It is still underway. It is a multi-day Swiss event. So 6 or 7 rounds of Swiss followed by a top 16 cut. And then we'll have another FLC champion, and maybe I can get them onto the program as well, unless it is Ivan. He does not talk to the Goat Format YouTube channel to include myself. So we'll see what we can do. But that's all I have for this episode of Game of the Week. I'm JDZ. I play Goats. Until next time, shout out to the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.